Hey, what's good, people? This is Holy Warrior Yancey, and this is Holy Warrior Yancey Productions. I just want to briefly talk about something that's been on my mind for a couple of weeks, and that's the other side of the coin when it comes to all this single mother stuff that's going on. And what brought this about, as far as me doing the video on it, was I feel as though there's a whole lot of emphasis on single mothers. And a lot of the time, it basically incriminates the man. But that's not the case all the time. There are plenty of cases out there in which the father of the kid loved the mother, loved his kids, and wanted to indeed be a family man. But for whatever reason, the mother messed it up and didn't want things to work. You know what I mean? The mother left. There's women out here that leave good guys that want to be family men. As a matter of fact, the truth is, when it comes to good men, a lot of these women attack good guys. It's almost like they want to attack the good guys in a way or in a form of getting back at the bad guys that they don't mess with. But anyway, like I'm saying, and all this came about too from watching the show John Gray on which great brother, phenomenal brother. All love and props go to John Gray. It just seems like he helps a whole lot of single women. And, you know, a few of them mentioned that they get minimum help, you know. And sometimes that can just be a downplay too, because it seems like no matter what you do, a lot of these women don't think it's good enough. Like, there's guys out there that pay child support. You know, you put a guy on child support, and the court decides how much you're going to pay. You know? But, you know, they come to agree, like, okay, this amount I'm going to get, okay, but then it's not good enough. And that's kind of an unfair thing as well. Because I know personally, I faced that scenario with my ex. Whereas though my support that was appointed by the court wasn't good enough. But it's not just about the support that she receives. You know, it's about also what I do for my kids when I'm in their care. I mean, when they're in my care, when I have them. When I have them, I have to feed them. You know, I take them out places, movies, everything else. Birthdays, Christmas, whatever. You know, school clothes or whatever, you know what I mean? It's not just what you give to the woman. It's what you give to your kids while they're in your care as well. But the other side needs to be explored and it needs to be respected. Because there are single fathers out here that are doing their thing. And they're not just doing their thing. They're doing their thing and being persecuted at the same time. They love their kids and do for their kids. And a lot of times these women get upset with them or they can't get their way with them. They do things that hurt these single fathers, like keep their kids away from them. There's a lot of women that got a lot of bitterness in their heart or a lot of hating going on with them because the guy moved on or whatever. There's all sorts of scenarios. But I know a common scenario that seems to happen is a lot of these single mothers, they'll pull a ricochet on you. And what I mean by that is, If you ever seen the movie Ricochet with John Lithgow and Denzel Washington, John Lithgow was doing some crazy things to Denzel. You know, putting him inside these crazy scenarios, and then set things up to where as though the scenario never existed. And whenever Denzel went to go tell people what he went through, they thought he was crazy. A lot of the brothers that I was raised around and were brought up with, good brothers that are about family. They're not perfect, but they're about family. They love their kids. They love the woman that they had the kids by. But a lot of times nowadays, these women, they're brought up to not need a brother. You know, they want to be single, independent. They don't need us. They just want all the glory of raising the kids by themselves. They feel as though if you a nice dude, they want a thug or whatever, and that's just how that is. But anyway, conversing with my brothers, it seems like we all had different scenarios in which we got ricocheted. Scenarios in which the mother did or said something that was real slimy and real grimy. It could be all types of scenarios. It could be leaving you with your kids and not beating up like you're supposed to, have you late from work. All types of stuff where they do things out of pocket, say things out of pocket. And when you react to their craziness, they act like, what's wrong? I didn't do nothing wrong. I don't understand. A lot of good brothers go through that. And I'm just venting a little bit because I feel as though the flip side of the coin is not being displayed. You know, it really isn't. It really isn't being displayed. And it's misunderstood and it's misrepresented. Because there's plenty of men out there that love their kids and do for their kids and are good fathers that doing the best they can. Like me personally, I'm persecuted. But it's all good, man. I may not be the richest man, but one thing I can say for sure, I love my kids and I do for my kids. You know? And there's a lot of good guys out here that are divorced or they're not with the woman they had children with. And they're doing their thing. And in the process of doing their thing, they're being attacked by their exes, by their ex-mother-in-law or their ex-mother or whatever. They're being told bad information from their girlfriends. And they're giving the brother a hard time. Not being straightforward with commitments as far as the exchange of the children or child. You know, minimizing what they do. It's a mess. It really is. And the system is messed up. Like in Pennsylvania, you can pay child support, but you have to go to a whole nother court to arrange custody, which makes no sense. If you're paying for your child, you should automatically get custody. You shouldn't have to go and pay to have a whole nother hearing for custody. If you're paying child support, if it's your child and you're paying child support, indeed you have a right to see your kids. But obviously Pennsylvania don't feel as though that should be a natural thing given. They want to milk you for more money, and that's another thing the system does, man. it's all about the money, because guys pay support, and people don't, and the women don't get all that money. I know I see what comes out of my paycheck, and she tells me something different. And I see at times where Pennsylvania straight up took their cut out. But all in all, I'm saying this. Flip side of the coin. There's good brothers out there. This is a video to represent the single fathers that's doing their thing. God bless.